I even have like this alpha male like theme song pulled up on my computer. And I was gonna I was in the request and I wanted him to like let me up so then I could talk to that alpha male and like assert my like alpha male superiority. But anyways, we're gonna get like right back to the debates. Hop in the guest request if you do think that women require necessary male leadership, y'all. We're just looking for some debates, chat. Let's go ahead and talk to Michael. Dulcie, thank you so much for the $10 via Venmo. Thank you so much. Katie, thank you so much for that. Had a mustache. The next guest is loading in here. What's going on, Michael? Do you think that women need to be led by men?
Listen, I have nothing against women, right? But they're being ran by men now.
So is this is male leadership necessary? You can't just appeal to the patriarchy and the suppression of women that is forced on by men to say that male leadership is necessarily required. What attributes do men have that women don't that cause men to be the necessary leaders?
I'd say strength.
So strength is going to determine leadership ability? So are gorillas are gorillas superior and better leaders than you because they're stronger? Is a lion your leader because it could it gets stronger than you? And why are some of the best leaders that we've ever seen Gandhi or MLK or even probably your favorite president, why aren't they strong?
They're also all men and they're leaders of right.
So they're men, yeah, but they're not strong men. So then what is the trait that these men have or just all men have that causes them to be the necessary leaders?
Knowledge. There's quite a bit of other stuff, sorry.
Knowledge?
Yeah, knowledge,
Right. So if men have more knowledge than women, then why do women perform better in academics and graduate from college more and have a higher IQ at the 50th percentile?
Listen, I'm not saying that women don't have more knowledge, have less knowledge than men.
That's quite literally what you just said.
Oh, no, I never fucking said that.
Michael, I just asked you for the attributes that men have that women don't that cause men to be the necessary leaders, and you said knowledge.
Okay, but that not once clearly pointed out that men were smarter than women.
Yeah, that's quite literally what you just said, but okay, I'll let you backpedal on that. Thank you for the rose and for the roses, Nikki and Zab.
Okay.
So, Michael, what traits do men have that women don't have that cause men to be the leaders, the necessary leaders?
I told you.
No, you didn't. You said knowledge, and then I'm like, women are actually more knowledgeable than men. A, they perform better in academics. B, they graduate more from high school, college at the 2, 4, 6, and 12 year. And C, they possess a higher IQ and EQ. So no, men are not more knowledgeable than women. Next.
Yeah, I don't know. I just getting put on the spot. Sorry. I'm no use to you.
You're not used to having your prejudice challenged?
Yeah, not really, man.
Right. I feel like a lot of men aren't used to that, right? But then there's Dean fucking Withers. Well, do you have anything else to share with us?
No. I love your lives, though, man.
Thanks, man. We're going to go to move on to the next guest. All right. Let's go ahead and talk to this next guest, y'all. And make sure we are in those guest requests if we do think that women require necessary male leadership here. Let's go ahead and talk to Michael. By the way, welcome to everybody. If we're enjoying this stream, thank you so much for those TikToks. Make sure we're tippity-tapping away on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 200,000 likes, y'all. For real, man. Also, Parker, once again, I don't know if you caught it when you first sent the raid over, but thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for the crown, J Royal. The next guest is loading in here, chat. The next guest is loaded in here, chat. Thank you for the other crown as well. All right, Michael's not loading in. If you want to go and hop back in those guest requests, feel free, Michael. We're going to go ahead and get someone else up here. Let's go ahead and see what Nico has to say. Yeah. W. Parker for the raid. Thank you so much, man. Also, I don't know if you caught it, Parker, but I had the whole outfit. I had a whole alpha male outfit on, and I was going to talk to that one dude on your stream. Is going to be hilarious. But unfortunately, I didn't. Salmi, what's going on, man? Do you think that women need to be led by men?
Oh God, bruh. Cause bitches ain't shit.
Okay, why?
No, on God, bruh. Without guys, bro, on God, bruh. They cannot function, bro, on God.
Right. And then, like, if guys didn't have girls, on God, bro, they wouldn't be able to function on God. But that's not what I'm asking, right? So I'm not asking if women and men need each other, because obviously they do. This is, like, the whole, like,
No, I'm
this is,
just
like,
joking.
necessary for, like, the continuance of humanity. Do you have any, like, reasons as to why women must be led by men, though?
No, I'm trolling, bruh. I don't know, bruh. I just feel like they function better with a guy.
All right, and we're going to go and get the next guest up here, y'all. Make sure we're in the guest request that we do think that women require necessary male leadership, y'all. What's going on, man? How old are you?
Nigger.
Yeah, we're gonna go to move on to the next guest, y'all. Make sure we're make sure we're tippity tapping away on our phone screens. Let's try to get up to 200,000 likes, y'all. What's going on, Bowman? Do you think that women need to be led by men?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, why?
Because we need male leadership.
Okay, why?
I'm a proud Christian, dude.
Why do we need male leadership?
Why do you think we don't?
Yeah, because I don't think that leadership is going to be determined off of what's in between someone's legs. It seems quite intuitive. And I think the simple fact that your response to me asking you why we need male leadership is, why do you think that we don't, just shows like your ingrained ignorance and prejudice. Like, it seems like you don't actually have any reason to think this.
Did you, like, grow up with, like, gay parents?
No.
Oh. Have you ever got your testosterone checked?
Yeah, I have.
What is it?
Right, so it's going to be about like 670? 770?
It's pretty low, dude.
No, it's actually above the average.
It's above average, dude. But you realize that, like, they put estrogen.
Right, so, but it honestly just sounds to me like you're upset now. I feel like we're about to have, like, a Parker's Life 2.0 now. You know, just like some alpha male getting real offended because his beliefs are challenged, and then he starts talking about gay people and testosterone, man.
Do you
just
have
like
any,
a carbon copy dupe of, like, so many, like, irrational people that, I'm so happy are in my life. So go ahead, act a little smarter here, bud.
All right.
No, stop talking. Act a little smarter here, and give me a reason why women need necessary male leadership.
Are you going to take me off?
No. I want you to tell me why women need to be led by men.
Okay. In any gay relationship, female or man, do you usually see a type of polarity, or is it just like they're both like masculine, feminine?
So masculinity defines traits observed in men, and femininity, Chairman, thank you so much for the money gun. Thank you so much. And femininity describes traits observed in females, right?
Yes.
So when there's two men, we're going to see a lot of masculinity. When there's two women, we're going to see a lot of femininity. Now, Bowman, this didn't answer jack shit. This didn't answer jack shit. Tell me which traits men have that women. Bro, stop talking. Stop talking. Tell me the attributes that men have that women do not have that cause the men to be the necessary leaders.
I'm not done on this narrative. So when you see a gay relationship, most women tend to have one masculine role and one feminine role. There is never a polarity between both masculine and both feminine. If you see a relationship between two women that have gotten a relationship together, there's usually a dom and there is a sub. And when you relate masculine features to a relationship like my own that I've been in 3 years, you need leadership, and masculinity happens to be a leadership quality.
Yeah, so masculinity isn't like some innate trait that men possess. This is just a description of men. So you were like describing masculinity as like leadership and dominance, but this isn't necessary for a man, right? So you're observing this in the world around you through systems of patriarchy and societal conditioning that has been traditionally pushed on us all, that men must go out, protect, serve, and provide while the woman stays at home, raises the kids, cooks, cleans, and does the laundry, right? But these descriptive observations aren't going to show that men actually are like these necessary leaders, right? And that's where my question comes in. Like, what, like, necessary characteristics do men have that women don't have that cause men to be the leaders? Or what traits do women not have that men have? You know what I mean?
So if you really look in the past and you go into now, men have always been the dominant creature. And that's a fact. And that's the reason why we've always led, is because we've always been the dominant creature. If you look in any type of relationship, the dominant one is always the leader.
So do you think that dominance is going to be like indicative of a good leader?
A leadership role.
Right. So what I'm asking is, where does this dominance come from? Right. Okay, so Bowman, just listen. Right. So you are like observing dominance. Now, what trait do men possess that women do not possess that cause you to observe this dominance only within men? Okay. Like, you still haven't answered my question.
What was the question?
Like, what traits do men possess that women do not possess that cause them to be so dominant under your worldview?
There's a lot of different ones.
Name them.
Strength, physical capabilities. We have more bone mass than a lot of different females. We also have a different part. Our brains are actually hardwired a lot differently than a woman's brain is hardwired.
In which ways that would cause men to be the necessary leaders?
In terms of emotion. I would say that women are a lot more emotional creatures than a man. And so we're able to make decisions not based off of emotion. We're making decisions based off of logic. I don't say that we don't have emotion, but I say that we have less emotion than a woman. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I disagree, but I'm going to let you finish.
So you think that we have equal amount of emotion than a woman?
No, I think men are more emotional.
You think men are more emotional?
Yeah, so if like men are more like logical and less emotional than women, don't interrupt me. Right? So if men are like more emotional, more logical and less emotional than women, then why do more men self-unalive? Why do more men abuse substance, with substance abuse being an unhealthy coping mechanism to deal with unprocessed emotions? Like, and then when we look at like irrational emotional activities such as violent crime, why do we see like more men like just dominating all fields of violent crime? Like, we see more men doing like mass unalivings, school schmootings, mass shootings, mass unalivings, terrorism, violent extremism, domestic violence and abuse, gun-related crimes, arson, kidnapping, like child abuse, animal abuse, and all those things. Like, we see like more men starting wars, more men starting genocides, like, and quite literally like any empirical field that would be indicative of like an irrational emotional response, we see it like overwhelmingly done by men, with the biggest one definitely being self-unaliving, right? And like, we could go on about that all day. And then like your first point, men are stronger, therefore like they're the necessary leaders. Well, is a gorilla like even more of a necessary leader, even a better leader than a man because they're stronger?
Okay, so that's a rhetorical question. It's not really a question. Secondly, at the same time, women are actually a lot more willing to actually, hit a man rather than a man to hit a woman. So, at the end of the day, yeah, yes, it is true.
If you go on the FBI crime statistics,
you're not going to talk over me.
No, if you go on the FBI crime statistics, that's just incorrect.
No, listen.
Just look at the FBI crime statistics.
Can I talk? And you're just going to keep on interrupting me.
I mean, you just made a false claim.
At the end of the day, can I talk? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
At the end of the day, a woman understands that a man is stronger. So she can pretty much touch a man or hit a man, and she knows that man can't hit her back because he's a lot more dominant feature. If she were to punch me full strength into the face, I could take it. But if I were to punch my full strength into her face, she's going to get knocked out. That's how it is.
Right?
Like,
so then why do we see more men hitting women than women hitting men?
What are you talking about, on television or on the internet? What are you talking
I'm talking about like FBI like crime statistics. Like again, like, and it's funny that you chose like 1 point out of like the 20 that I listed off to come after, right?
Am I gonna
So
rebuttal?
when we look at like domestic violence and domestic abuse, like this is vast majority like committed by men. And then, like, not to mention that, like, again, you just breezed over the other fucking 20 data points I named off.
Am I gonna rebuttal
Let's talk
20
about all of them, right, Bowman? So why do more men self-unalive than women? If men are so, like, mentally strong, if men don't think it, like, if men are less emotional and more logical, why do more men self-alive and abuse substances?
Can I go over that? Can I go over that?
Yeah, why do, like, yeah, go over.
So
I have 3 questions. I have 3 questions, right? So I want you to
I'm
answer
going to
them
answer
all.
one at a time.
So if men are less emotional and more logical than women, then why do more men self-unalive?
Okay, let me go
in
over
an
that one
extremely
right now.
emotional response to external stimuli.
Can I go over that
Why
one
do
right now?
more men abuse substances? Was substance abuse
Can I go over
an
one?
unhealthy coping mechanism to deal with unprocessed emotions? And then why do women possess a higher EQ, with emotional intelligence quota being one's ability to manage and process their emotions?
I'll answer all of your questions. So can I go over the
Get
first
'em.
one? Okay, so the first one is pretty simple. So if you really look at it like from a divorce rates, women, let's just say this: if a woman were to abuse a man and she were to go to court, the man would not get any type of sympathy from the court system. That's for one. For two, at the same time, if a woman and a man were to divorce each other and the woman decided to leave, she's going to take 50% of his earnings. And if she cheats on him, she still gets that positive. And then on top of that, if you were to ever go in a relationship with another woman and she has a child, let's just say you guys are boyfriend or girlfriend, she can still do that same problem where she can take 50% of her earnings as well. And so there's a lot of different things in terms of emotions that men are just hardwired from a certain
Thank you for the handouts.
Men are hardwired from an early state in life where they have to pretty much bottle up these emotions. We have to say, hey, look, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable for a man to cry. If you were to cry, it shows weakness. That is something that is inherently instilled into the status quo of today America.
Right, and who instills this?
In the society in a whole, how we've always been created.
Right, and who apparently is like the leader of the society?
Men.
So men tell men not to be emotional?
Yes.
Right? And anyways, I think that bottling up your emotions is another prime example of how, like, emotionally unintelligent men are, right? So this actually helps my narrative a whole lot, right? This helps my narrative so much, right? So the third point, women possessing higher EQs or emotional intelligence quotas, this is a fact, right? This is a fact. And a good conclusion or result of this fact is going to be that they're better at processing and dealing with their emotions. They know how to process what they feel when they feel it, right? And you saying that men bottle things up is not going to be indicative of men like being less emotional. This is going to be indicative of men not knowing how to deal with their emotions. And the result of men not knowing how to deal with their emotions is more men self-unaliving, more men like abusing substances, more men doing like reckless emotional activities such as all forms of violent crimes. Adrian, thank you so much for that hat of mustache. We already went over them all: homicide, mass shooting, school shootings, domestic violence, domestic assault, animal abuse, animal abuse, child abuse. I just let you talk for so long. Arson, kidnapping, and like the other 20 I listed off. This is also what's going to be indicative of things such as higher rates of like drunk driving and reckless driving, gambling, other risk-taking activities within men. I mean, Big Mouth Head, thank you for that panther paw. It's just like, I just destroyed your argument with your argument.
Saying you destroyed an argument doesn't mean that you destroyed an argument. That's just
right?
making...
No, saying that I destroyed an argument didn't make me destroy the argument. It's the way in which I destroyed it. By using your statement that men bottle up their emotions is further justification for men not being able to deal or process or cope with their emotions better than women do.
What would you say is the
right?
difference?
And using it to push against the narrative that women are more emotional.
What would you say?
The sad fact of reality is that women are not more emotional. Women just know how to deal with their emotions better. And like, what supports this is everything I went over with the violent crimes, everything I went over with the suicide rates and with the substance abuse rates, like everything, man. I gave you 25 data points.
What's the difference between a leader and a boss?
What's the difference between a leader and a boss?
Yes. What is the difference between a leader and a boss?
Yeah, so I think a leader is going to be like more of a philosophical word used to describe one that conveys a message to many, right? And then a boss is going to be a type of like archetype or sub-archetype to describe like a structure within a company, right?
Yeah. So essentially, a leader is someone that people follow because they made their own point to follow that person because they saw them as a strong point. A boss is someone who takes control, who tells a person what to do and what not to do. A leader is somebody they follow unwillingly because they understand that this person is a good person to follow.
Right. So what like biological, like what like necessary traits do men have that make them a good person to follow that women lack? Like no, answer that one, but don't cut me off. Don't cut me off. What like necessary attributes do only men have that women don't have that make men better to follow? That necessary, sorry, not better, necessary to follow.
Okay. Let's look at almost all the jobs that are in the workforce that men have been in right now. Let's talk about plumbers. Let's talk about technicians. Let's talk about all this stuff. Let's talk about people that are on the skyscrapers. I'm talking about people that literally are doing all the hard things because they can support a family. They care more.
Bowman,
so listen,
this isn't going to be the cause.
I'm still going to keep on talking.
I know. I'm just going to like spell this out for you like really simply, right? So this isn't the cause of this belief that men must be the leader. Excuse me. So like this idea of like men working the hard jobs isn't the cause of the belief that you hold that men are the necessary leaders or similar traditional values. It is the result of the belief you hold that men must be the necessary leaders or similar traditional values, right? So like men aren't doing all these hard jobs and then the traditional values follow. Men are doing the hard jobs because of the traditional values, because of like this societal conditioning put on us, right? Because of these traditional beliefs that say that women are supposed to stay at the home and raise the kids, cook, clean, and do the laundry while the man goes out and like provides and protects, right? So like this isn't the cause, it's the result. So tell me what the cause is by answering my question, right? So name the cause. What like innate attributes do men have that women don't that cause them to be the necessary leaders?
So I thought we'd be able to pause every time we're talking. Can you hear me?
I can. Answer my question, please.
So I'm not going to answer your question because you interrupted me. First of all. Second of all, I didn't finish off my point.
Bro, we already went through this. This isn't the cause of your beliefs and other traditional values. It's the result of them.
I didn't finish off what I was saying with a question. So it wasn't your turn to talk.
Nice deflection. Dude, we already went over this.
You interrupted me. You interrupted me, and now
you're a really emotional man. Honestly, like, if you want to have, like, a coherent understanding of what I'm talking about when I say men are more emotional than women, look in a mirror, right? Look in a mirror, right? So anyways, like, yeah, men working these hard jobs isn't the cause of these, like, of this societal conditioning, these traditional norms, and the belief in which you hold. It's the result of them. So now actually answer my question for, like, my 5th time asking, right?
Dude, I'm not going to...
What innate traits do only men have that cause them to be the necessary leaders?
I didn't finish off my point, and I'm going to continue to talk to you until you allow me to finish off.
No, I'm going to give you, like, one last chance, but I'm going to answer the question, right? Stop crying, please. Like, we understand you're an emotional man, but pull it together just a little bit. Just a little bit. So go ahead and answer the question, Bowman.
All right. So what was the question again? Since I have to talk to you about what you want to talk about, not what I want to talk about. But okay, let's go.
We can talk about both things. So so I asked you this question, and then you started monologuing about something else. Like, this is the only reason I've muted you and kind of like overpowered you in a sense to get an answer, because I did ask this question, and then you just monologued about something completely unrelated. And I'm going to let you monologue about something completely unrelated after you answer my question. So what innate characteristics do men possess that women don't that cause them to be the necessary leaders?
Being able to being able to do the hard things and not the things that are easy. We are able to do the things that we're.
What is this caused by? Like, what in a man's anatomy or biology is this caused by? Like, what trait? What biological trait?
I don't need to know the biological trait. I just need to.
Sure you do, because correlation doesn't equal causation. You're making a correlation between men doing the hard things and assuming that men are the only ones that can do the hard things.
I'm telling you.
No, so name the cause. Like, this is exactly what I just went over.
I'm telling you.
By you saying, don't interrupt me, right? So by you saying that men could do the hard things and women can't. No, so this isn't a lie. This is an observation of the patriarchy. This is an observation of wide acceptance of traditional norms. Tell me the root cause, because correlation does not equal causation. Tell me the root cause. What, like, biological attributes do men possess that women don't that cause them to be the necessary leaders?
Being able to have less emotional states in their brain.
If men have less emotional states in their brain, why do they self-unalive more and abuse substances more?
There's actually now, if you actually look this up, and you can pretty much type this in and you can show all of your viewers, you can pretty much look up that there's actually a part of a woman's brain that actually has a part of it that is emotional, and that if you look at a male's brain, they actually have a part of that brain that's actually less diminished than a woman. So it's actually smaller than a woman is. And the reason why is because
it's just misinformation.
No, the reason why is because God has put us on this planet to be the leaders.
So what's the part of the brain called?
Dude, if you look it up, you can find it out. I
already have. I've actually already posted videos on this, right? So there's a couple on my page. So the amygdala is going to be like the decision processor and like emotional regulator of the brain. So now listen to me. So like the amygdala is going to be the decision processor and the emotional regulator of the brain. So many tests have been done on sex differences within it, and there's not one clear academic study that outlines women as being more emotional than men. So that's just misinformation.
So you're saying that the part of the brain you're talking about is the amygdala. And the amygdala...
That's not what it's called. Oh my god, it's called the amygdala.
Okay. Amygdala. Okay?
No, the amygdala.
Amygdala. I don't fucking care, dude.
Amygdala.
Amygdala. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. You're so funny, dude.
No, you're hilarious. I'm enjoying this. Good, go ahead.
Okay, I promise you, bro.
This is a leader right here, folks. This is a leader right here.
Okay, well, that's why
who should be in charge, right?
Dude, that's literally why everyone's liking my thing. There's a reason why I just been on this thing for 5 minutes. I've had 602. There's a reason.
You've had 602 coins. There's a reason. There is. So now stop.
No, there's a reason why, dude. There's a reason.
I'm gonna get you back on track here, Bowman. Finish your statement about the amygdala. Don't get sidetracked by shiny things that pop up on your screen, right? Who thought I'd be saying this to a grown man in the year 2023? But let's get back on track here. Thank you so much for the Knights helmet. I really appreciate it.
Let me do my own research, since you have all these articles on deck and ready to pretty much debate with everybody on. Because I'm just
Knights Girl Blue. So what's your argument here? What were you saying about the amygdala?
I'm looking it up for you. The amygdala is responsible for fear. Is responsible for fear, and you can actually diminish that part of your brain with meditation. You can also diminish that part of the brain with doing exciting things and adrenaline. So like boxing is one of them. Yes, it is. It's a part of the brain that's responsible for fear, and that's a fact.
So what are you getting at here? You said that like men have like different amygdalas than women that cause them to be less emotional?
No, I'm saying that they have a part of their brain, and my freaking internet's not damn on my fucking browser. I'm saying that
you can go just here. I have an idea. Do your research and then come back up. I'll let you back up. Go do your research. Appreciate you, Bowman. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Please, if you're gonna come up here, do your research first. Don't do your research in the debate in front of 1,700 people. I don't know. We're going to move on to the next guest, y'all. If you guys are enjoying the debates, make sure we're tippity-tapping away on that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 300,000 likes, y'all. Also, make sure we're hitting that follow button. We're pretty close to 75,000 followers. I appreciate that, Rose. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest, y'all. Make sure we're in the guest request. We do think that women require necessary male leadership. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next, y'all. Let's go ahead and see what Stud for Stud has to say. Appreciate that, Earth. Thank you so much, man. What's going on, Stud for Stud? Do you think that women need to be led by men? Thank you for the like, Pop. Alright, or just come up here, then go and pause in front of a whole lot of people. Sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and talk to James, chat. Yeah, he's going to be sitting on Google for the next couple hours. That is true, right? What's going on, James? Do you think that women need to be led by men?
Yo, my bad. Actually, I did not mean to request.
You're all good, man. You're all good. We're going to go and move on to the next guest here. Make sure you only request if you do think that women need to be led by men, y'all. We're just looking for some debates. You know how it goes, baby. Alrighty, y'all. Fortunately, let's go and talk to Laurel here. Let's go and talk to Laurel. First woman of the night, first woman of the night chat. What's going on, Laurel? Do you think that women need to be led by men?
Hey, well now, right?
Unfortunately, I'm only talking opposition, but I appreciate you for coming up here. We're going to go and talk to this next guest. Y'all make sure we're only requesting if we do think that women need to be led by men. What's going on, Nazi? Do you think that women need to be led by men?
I don't think none of that.
Well, unfortunately, we're only talking opposition. Only hop on the request if you do find this to be true. Let's go and move on to the next guest. Appreciate you for this cat pause. What's going on, Flavor Music? Do you think that women need to be led by men?
Yes. And I can tell you the reason why.
Oh, that's what I want to hear.
Okay, because a man
Thank you for the GGs.
is the genes of a man, the everything of a man is stronger than a woman. That is why the man has to be the provider for the woman.
What do you mean when you say the genes of a man are stronger than that of a woman?
All the muscles inside is just
muscles.
naturally stronger. If you look at the statistic of the strongest woman out there compared to the strongest man, the man is gonna be on the top of the list.
What happens when we look at the statistics of the strongest man compared to the strongest gorilla? Who's on the top of that list?
Yeah, but now that would be another subject. That would be to compare humans to animals.
No, it's a logical analogy. You're saying that like one group of people are like this one group of individuals is like going to be like stronger than another group of individuals. Therefore, they lead them. But then we have this other group of gorillas that's stronger than this other group of humans.
I agree. A gorilla is stronger than a human being.
So let me ask a question. If physical strength determines leadership ability, who's the leader? The President of the United States or the Secret Service?
Who's the leader? It would be the strongest. If you think of
the Secret Service is the leader. Right. Sounds good. Okay. That checks out. Definitely checks out. Now, Flavor Music, who's the leader? The coach of an NFL football team or the players?
the coach is the leader of the football team.
Oh, well, this is a contradiction because who's stronger?
Yeah, in a form of who is has more knowledge.
Oh, no, this is a new point. So leadership ability is not actually determinant upon strength, but on knowledge now? So
yeah,
who's smarter, men or women?
It is determined.
So does this mean that, like, men should necessarily be led by women now?
Yeah, if the woman is stronger than a man, but there is also...
No, you're pivoting back and forth. Here, let's clean this up. What necessary attributes do men have that women don't that cause the men to be the necessary leaders?
It is because you have strength, then you have knowledge, then you have wisdom, then you have enlightenment, and then you have foreknowledge. And then you have
knowledge, wisdom, enlightenment.
Yeah, and you have capabilities.
What kind of capabilities? It's so broad.
is a matter of the man or the woman are capable.
All right, bro. All right. Let's talk about it. So we already talked about the physical strength point. Physical strength is not going to be indicative of leadership ability, and you even conceded to this by saying that the coach of a football team is going to be the leader, irregardless if he's probably the weakest out of the players in comparison to himself, right? So then he named off wisdom, knowledge, and what was the third one?
Enlightenment.
Wisdom, knowledge, and enlightenment. So would you say that violent crimes are going to be indicative of wisdom, knowledge, and enlightenment?
If you think about crimes,
Are they? Yes or no? All right. Are violent crimes indicative of wisdom, knowledge, and enlightenment?
yeah,
Interesting. Is suicide going to be indicative of wisdom, knowledge, and enlightenment?
yeah,
Is substance abuse going to be indicative of wisdom, knowledge, and enlightenment?
yeah,
Is starting genocides, is that going to be indicative of wisdom, knowledge, and enlightenment?
yeah.
You're joking, right?
What do you mean by the word you use there?
Joking? I mean that you're not telling the truth and being obviously fallacious, because there's no way that you just said suicide, substance abuse, genocide, and violent crimes are indicative of wisdom, knowledge, and enlightenment.
What does that word mean, indicative?
Okay, you could have asked that before you answered. So, would you say that people who commit violent crimes are very wise, knowledgeable, and enlightened?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Are people who, I don't know, self-unalive and abuse substances, are they very, wise, knowledgeable, and enlightened?
No.
So, okay, yeah. So, anyways, all of those actions are overwhelmingly committed by men. So, if men are so wise, knowledgeable, and enlightened, then why are the most unwise, unknowledgeable, and definitely not enlightened, empirical data points of actions, vast majority succumbed to by men?
But what about the woman who commits crimes?
Yeah, they commit them extraordinarily less. Would you say that emotional intelligence is indicative of wisdom, knowledge, and enlightenment?
Yeah, if
women possess emotional intelligence to a higher degree at all percentiles over men. So it actually seems like right now what we're doing is we're building a case for women having more wisdom, knowledge, and enlightenment than men, which would be indicative of them being the necessary leaders.
But not always. It depends.
I appreciate you for coming up. You're kind of killing the views, and you're obviously just kind of confusing me, because you're kind of all over the place, but I appreciate you for coming up, man. We're going to move on to the next guest, y'all. If we're enjoying the debates, make sure we're tippity-tapping away in that phone screen. Let's try to get up to 300,000 likes. We may hit a restart. I'm considering a restart, because I don't know quite what's going on today. We're going to be considering a restart here soon. Let's go ahead and get another guest up here, though. We may change the topic for the last hour or so, but we'll go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and get our next guest up here. Let's go and talk to Andrew. I appreciate you for that. Love you, Alana. What's going on, Andrew? Do you think that women need to be led by men? All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest, y'all. Let's go to get Landon up here. Yo, these guests tonight have been crazy, chat. Alana, thank you. Lana, thank you so much for that rose. What's up, Landon? Do you think that women need to be led by men?
Okay, so my thoughts on this are, I do not think it's necessary, but I do think men are better at it.
Okay, what?
I said, I do not think
I said why?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said why?
Why? Okay. I think men generally are more adept to be the leader, and when it comes to different leadership roles. Not saying women can't do it, but I think it is something that is more deals with society and with our genes.
Yeah. So what in a man's genome makes him a better leader?
So like you were talking about, we have testosterone, so we are doing more things that like violence, acts, and unaliving ourselves. And I was been in here a while, and I was listening to you and talk to other guests, and I think a lot of them had some good points, but they just weren't delivering it right. Saying with the whole strength thing, that shit probably mattered primitive times, but now that's not what creates a good.
So what traits do men possess that women don't that cause them to be better at leading? Right? Thank you for the
I was getting that. So with risks, men obviously take more risks.
Right, they do, and this is going to be like indicative of men doing like more drunk driving, reckless driving, gambling, and other irrational risk-taking decisions. It's like this notion of taking risk isn't necessarily going to be a good thing. And then actually, when we look at like what is like commonly deemed as like positive risk, such as like stock market investment, we see women like excelling far beyond men. So when a woman invests in the stock market, which is a risk-taking, a positive risk-taking activity, what we see is them like considering the long term, and while a man, when he invests, he considers the short term. So women actually invest better in the stock market than men. So it seems as if risk-taking proclivity is bad for men, but good for women.
In some cases, yes, but like I said, it's not always just one-sided. I mean, there are no solutions, only trade-offs. So men might have more, risk-taking when it comes to other bad stuff, but they also have more risk-taking when it comes to good stuff. Like look at wars and stuff. Men were better.
War's good? War's good?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying
war's good? Excuse me? Wait, I'm so sorry. What?
I'm not saying war is good. I'm saying better at it. I'm saying better at war. That doesn't.
Well, actually, when we look at like traditionally like female-led monarchies like queens, they actually had like a higher success rate in war than men, which is funny.
And what source is that? What source is that?
Yeah. Do you want me to get it for you? I don't mind. Wait, I'll post it in my Discord under the sources. Join my Discord. The link's in the bio. So you could like actually read through it.
Okay. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, I'm open. This is discussion, so I'm open. I haven't read that, so I would like to see it.
Yeah, I'll put that in there. Anything else?
No, yeah, we can keep continuing. I'll look at it. I'll just say okay for right now because I can't find it. But I'll just say okay. That would be a point to you on that.
So then, why are men better leaders than women?
Okay. So another thing.
Jay Royal, thank you so much for the money gun. I appreciate you, brother.
Another thing I would say that makes them, and like I said, I'm not saying it's necessary. I think now we've evolved where women are just as capable as men. But the thing with the IQ,
if women are just as capable as men, then we're not going to see like one gender necessarily being better at leading because of what's in between their legs. But go ahead and make your point.
I don't think it has to do just with between their legs. But another thing that I heard you say that I don't agree with, is women being specifically smarter than men. It's more actually equivalent to each other with men being smarter just a slightly bit with IQ points. So it's not smartness, but intelligence-wise.
That's not true.
That is true.
What's your source?
You can literally look it up.
Right. So my claim that women carry a IQ, like a higher IQ at the 50th percentile, this is true, right? When we balance the bell curves out, we see no difference in IQ. But then, this overruling intelligence comes from a better performance in academics, higher rates of graduation from university, and then, unequivocally higher EQs. Also, y'all, we're going to restart after this debate and go to a different topic. I don't know why, but I've been trying to do different topics than, my main two. Appreciate you for that little crown, Pinchy Pete. And, it just hasn't been working. It has not been working.
Well, I'm down to talk about another topic if you're wanting to. I mean, it don't matter to me.
Do you think being gay is wrong?
Okay. So I don't think it's wrong.
All right. Well, that's actually what I'm going to restart my stream and host. So, Landon, I appreciate you for coming up here, Landon.
Just give me 5 minutes.
Landon, I'm going to restart my stream, man.
Oh, okay. All right, bye.
I appreciate you, man. All right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and restart the stream to a different topic. I don't know why, but this topic was just an absolute flop. This was an absolute flop. Oh my gosh. It was fun. It was fun to talk about, though. It was fun to talk about. But now I have a better idea. We are going to talk about the morality of being gay. Why is it wrong to be gay? So I'm going to hit a quick stream restart,